There's 2 computers to sign in at. Okay. Now that shit's going. Okay. Oh, I can hear myself. Oh my God. Yes, I want to stream. We are muting that right now, guys. I do not want to hear my voice. Okay. Now I'm going to call Mike. Skype him. There we go. Can you see everybody?
I cannot see everybody.
Why is that? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Give it a second. All right.
Oh, fantastic.
There's still more. There's still more people hiding over here on the side. So.
I love it. That's good. All right. So you want me to go ahead and just kick it off, Caitlin?
Kick it off.
All right. Well, I wanted to take a minute. I committed Caitlin to doing this programming task while I was out of town, and I totally forgot I was going to be out of town. So my apologies for not being there. I'm glad to see that we have a great turnout. I think this is going to be a really exciting one. There's some really cool speakers tonight, and as always, and I know Caitlin will go through all the details, and I know Todd's there as well. But I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out, but most of all, thanks to our speakers. Thanks for Caitlin for spending the time to do this. And I look forward to watching it on YouTube. So you guys have a great evening, and I'll see y'all when I get back in the next meetup.
Bye, Mike. Woo-woo!
Where are you?
He's in San Juan.
Oh, San Juan.
All right, bye.
Yeah, adios.
Bye-bye. All right. So now that that's all said and done, let me unplug this sucker for now. And we can go ahead and plug yours back in. Okay. Mike, or not Mike, Todd.
Oh.
This is for you.
We have to clip. I'll just grab it for a sec.
That works.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Todd, one of the founders here at CloudSpace. Thank you guys for coming out. Mike usually does the whole kickoff here, but since he's probably really drunk, if I had to guess, based on what we saw there, figured I'd jump in for a few. So just a couple quick shout-outs to our sponsors, Red Bull, Lazy Moon, World of Beer, and CloudSpace. We're buying the first round after this tonight, as we do after every meetup. So looking forward to seeing you guys out over there. So tonight is awesome. We've got 3 amazing speakers that are all happen to be women. How cool is that? Yeah, this is super cool. So I have a 6-year-old daughter who is far better at math than English, and if that stays that way, I hope that one day, she'll be able to go and do this kind of thing. I mean, we have way too many dudes in this industry. We need a little more diversity, and this is definitely the right way to help make it happen. And beyond that, thanks for stepping up, and in 3 weeks, getting ready to do this talk. And thanks, really wanted to shout out to Nick, who's been here nights helping out Caitlin get this done, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right. You can do the rest of the forms.
So, okay, now in the formal nitty-gritty here. Thanks, guys. It's kind of, I'm pretty sure we either broke the record or not. You didn't quite hit your 100, Austin.
150. That's what he said, 150.
Yeah, no. I was having a heart attack, but it's okay. You did a good try. I know, it's sitting at 98 on Meetup, so it's not too bad. Also, what's going on right now, which is another reason why it might be half of it, people realize what was actually happening. It's Tech Week right now. So actually what's going on right now is Starter Studio's Demo Day, which is 7 different companies who's doing an accelerator. One of them is one of my favorite companies. I love them to death. I'm going to give them a shout out because we do have some of their swag that I'll kind of give away as well, but it's Fat Merchant. They just won the Rollins, it was a Rollins competition, and they won $25,000. Yes, they're amazing. I love them to death. Their company is called Fat Merchant. If you want to look it up, it's literally F-A-T-T, Merchant. So that's what's going on right now in downtown. Tomorrow just so happens to be the Orlando Tech Meetup. I will be there in the beginning, and I will be there at the end, because it's right in between class time for me. But there just so happens to be a really awesome guy with JavaScript. He created JavaScript and worked for Mozilla. He will be there as the keynote speaker tomorrow. So if you guys didn't get tickets and go. There's going to be drinks there and everything else, and then Indianomicon is doing their event right after in the same space. Yeah, it's a $20 ticket, but yeah, so go. It's totally worth it. Between me, Sonobi, and Orlando Tech, we were able to get this guy to come down here. So it was really awesome to get him here. So he'll be here tomorrow. Thursday, there's a bunch of stuff going on during the day. Friday is the tea party. It's at DPAC, which if you guys don't know that analogy, it's at the Dr. Phillips Center. Dr. Phillips Art Center, Performing Arts Center, hello. We're in a big glass, so if you look at the actual building, you're upstairs in this big glass open case. It's gonna be amazing. And you literally go there with a funky ass t-shirt or a funky tie, and that's it. That's how you get in. I mean, it's $20 to get in, but but there's no,
you can do,
hey, but it's an excuse, like you don't have to dress up, and this is a beautiful, beautiful building, and you don't have to dress up. You go in a t-shirt and you have fun. Last year was pretty entertaining for me. Some know what happened, some don't, but it was really entertaining. So, but it was a great, fun event. I will be there the whole time. I'm a part of the volunteer and event committee there. So I will be there the whole entire time, setting it up, running around. So if you guys haven't volunteered for things, volunteer, please. I've posted it on a couple different Slacks. If you want to volunteer, reach out to me. I have the form. You get in. If you volunteer for 3 things, you get into the tea party for free. But if you want to volunteer for tomorrow, we need teardown slots, and you get to go for free for tomorrow. I need teardown people, so come on and help me. But other than that, let's get this thing started so we can get over to World of Beer and have some fun. So let's get your computer up and going. And this is Jean. She's one of my awesome females here. So, and none of this stuff is typical JavaScript, by the way. This isn't an Angular talk. This isn't a Node talk. Like, we're not talking about frameworks. We're talking about really cool things with JavaScript. So, yes, there are goats. For those who do not understand the goat meme, where are you, David?
Did he start it?
David and Daniel started the goats months ago, and it ran off, and everybody else has put a goat in their JavaScript talk ever since then, and now we are known as the Goat Meetup. And yes, there are goats in my presentation. No, it's just UTech Meetup. So bear with me, go figure, we keep on having Wi-Fi issues. Give it a second.
We'll an Apple conference and tell everybody to sign off. Good, like they do that every year. Like everybody get off the Wi-Fi.
So he's a big Android guy, by the way. And so that's why he's hating on Apple right now. Shit, it's not loading.
Yeah, we're not even like connecting.
Oh no. Damn. We got too many of you fuckers on the Wi-Fi.
Serious, just tell everybody to sign off. We'll get fixed.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, guys. We might need you to pop off.
Turn off your Wi-Fi.
Shut up, Ian.
It'll fix it. You can't have 40 people on Wi-Fi in the same room. It doesn't work.
This is more than 40 people, by the way. I have 36.
Only half of them that actually
Oh,
have Wi-Fi.
we're good.
Yes, we're good. Okay, let's keep it that way. Refresh it, darling. And YouTube is laughing right now because they're hearing all my rambling. Okay.
Alrighty. Sweet.
There you go, my dear.
Thank you.
And let me get this out of your way. And now you can talk.
I'm gonna do this. Do this. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now? Is this good?
Oh, they won't hear you through that. That's YouTube.
It's for YouTube. Never mind. I'm going to just speak up in that case. I have a very quiet voice, so just give me a signal if I'm getting too quiet. So like Caitlin said, this isn't going to be your everyday standard JavaScript presentation. I am a UX designer over at ViewPost. So this opportunity was given to me, and I thought, oh, cool, I'll talk about UX. I love UX, and I do a lot of CSS, HTML. And then it was sprung upon me that this is a JavaScript talk. So I had to really scramble and figure out how JavaScript relates to UX. And I came up with Psych JavaScript because, psych, this isn't about JavaScript. Just kidding. It is. This is all about, what I plan to do is combine usability with JavaScript and tell you how, with their powers combined, you could come up with really good solutions to your project. Okay, so what I want to start with is a question. How many people in here who have ever worked on a project and wondered if their users are ever going to use their product, if they're going to ever land on the page you're actually working on? By show of hands, has anyone ever wondered what their users are actually going to do with the product? A lot of people. I can't work on something without thinking like that, which makes me a UX designer because I need to solve that for myself. Okay, so what I intend to do is we're going to take a mock project. This is a faux project. If you actually find a site like this online, you probably need to go to bed because you've hit the end of the internet. There's nothing else like this. We're going to do something, a site about goat commerce. And the question we're going to be answering today is, are we showcasing what we think we are? So UX always starts with a hypothesis. It's always a very scientific kind of a thing. By the way, the first half of this talk is going to be kind of UX heavy, but hang on to your hats. We're going to go into JavaScript eventually. Okay, so what we really want these goats to do is use our site. We have a hypothesis. We really want them to do something. I'm not going to tell you what that hypothesis is because I'm actually going to have one of you help me test this. And we're going to run a quick usability test. So the purpose of this test is to evaluate the usability of your website, to recommend improvements, to implement those recommendations, and preferably you want to wait to test those before you even implement. But then, of course, after you implement, then you test. So without further ado, can I get a volunteer? This volunteer needs to be very goat-like and come up with very good goat answers to goat questions.
David.
It'll be really quick.
David's a goat himself.
Where is David? Is he hiding? David, get up here, man. You're going to have the best answers, I think. Okay, so what I have in my hand here is something very important. It's called the script. And don't worry, I'm not going to read everything. We're going to kind of rush through this because the focus is JavaScript today. But I bring up the script because it's very important to follow a script, because if I tell one goat one thing and another goat another thing, our test data might get skewed and the test maybe get a little less relevant for us. So I'm just going to kind of breeze through this. What's your name?
David.
Okay, David the Goat. Good. Hi, David the Goat. My name is Jean, and we're going to be walking through a usability session with you today. The purpose of this is to get a feel for what goats like to do on the internet. We're testing the site, not you, so you can't do anything wrong. You can't make mistakes. Don't worry about hurting our feelings. We really just want to get a real feel for what you're thinking. Make sure to think out loud. And then if you have questions, I won't be able to answer them right away, but after the test, I'll get to them. So basically, the first part is just giving them a really high-level feel of what's going on. So the next part, I'm going to ask you to look at, ask you first, what is your occupation as a goat?
I am a glue consumer.
A glue consumer. That's good. We need those glue consumers. That totally threw me off. I didn't expect you to say that. How many hours as a goat would you say you spend on the internet?
About 23.
Wow. Okay. How do you spend that time?
Looking up glue products and edibles like that.
Good. A common thing for sure. What is your favorite goat site? You have this. You have something for this.
My second favorite goat site is goatschool.com. It's a goat search engine.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's good. Do you have a favorite? All right. You're perfect for this, by the way. I'm so glad I picked you. Have you bought anything on the internet lately?
Yeah.
What have you bought?
Bought some glue.
Awesome. Okay, so we asked those questions to try and get a feel for what level we're actually interviewing. And so if this goat here would have said, I almost never use the internet, we kind of use that to kind of take his questions with a grain of salt, because maybe he's not our demographic. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and open the site. I don't need you to click anywhere, because I'm going to ask you some questions about it first, okay? So where did I put that? I put that over here. Okay. So here's the site. I guess we're going to zoom in a little bit. That'd probably help. Okay. So take a look at this site. What do you think about this? What are your first impressions of this site?
That I need goat glasses to see my glue better.
It's good. This is going so well. So, if you could just kind of, let's see, what would you click on if you were visiting this site for the first time?
Oh, indulge your foodie.
Oh, good.
For
All right.
goat food.
So don't click yet, even though you did, but it's cool. So I'm going to give you kind of a scenario, and I want you to follow it. And so the scenario is you have this hot date coming up on Friday, and you need to find a good place to go. So you were done shopping for glue. You landed on this site. What do you do? Where do you go with that mindset?
Could use some cool goat accessories to,
Wow
impress
her.
my
Yeah,
goats.
sure. That's for sure. It's good. Yeah. Is that all you would explore?
Oh, this looks interesting too. Goat songs to play in the car to impress my goats.
Yeah, you got to get in the mood.
Yep.
Sure. All right, cool. Well, let's see. Did you know that this goat site existed before you got here?
No, first time seeing it.
Okay, great. I think this concludes. I think we've covered everything. Thank you so much for coming up here, and have a wonderful day as a goat. Everyone give a hand to David. It's very awesome. Thank you. Okay, so let's get back to our slides. All right. Woo, I gave it away. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you what our hypothesis is. Our number one hypothesis was to hope and pray that all goats across America use AmericanGoat.com for all their internet needs. And our second goal was to get our restaurant sponsors more traffic by putting a click right on the homepage, because that's what all stakeholders want to do. They want to put their link right on the homepage to get users to go anywhere. As we've noticed after our test, that isn't always the answer. We put it right on the homepage, and people still didn't click it. But we wouldn't have known that if we didn't test it. Now, you might be wondering why I chose goats, other than the fact that everyone loves goats. But I actually needed it because another thing you really need to take a look at before you even run a test is to know who you're talking to. You need to know your user base, and you need to know what their interests are. And since everybody here is familiar with goats and what they like to do with their free time, it was appropriate because it was so easy to do it on goats. So that's where the goats came from. So now with this, let's say I tested like 10 or 20 goats. I have my data. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to a stakeholder. What they might do with what I give them is say that my results are my opinion, and maybe they don't mean a whole lot. What I really want to do is back these up with and here comes your JavaScript. I found this really, really cool tool that collects all this data and gives you some really sweet analytics using nothing but JavaScript. So there's lots and lots of tools out there, but my favorite by far has been Kenai. So the reason why I wanted to recommend this for you guys today is it's got really quick and easy integration. It's super well documented, so well that I could read it and understand it. You don't have to run your own data servers. It's very powerful. It's got data modeling, it's a tough word today, visualization tools. The SDKs come in all sorts of colors and shapes. You got JavaScript, perfect for today. But there's also iOS, Android, PHP, Ruby. There's too many to list, but if you have a favorite color, they've got it. It's very scalable. You can use it for whatever we needed it to. So for this test, I kept it really, really simple, so it's very small. But it can be a whole range of things, and you can test whatever you need to, collect whatever data it is you're looking for. If that data changes and your needs change, you can change it over time. And of course, I'm a UX designer. I can use it, so can you. So let's get into the code then. So if you're going to go to Kenai, which I guess we can go to right now, since you guys are kicked off the internet, maybe this will be helpful. So this is Kenai. You could sign up, and it's free for the first 50,000 events, which is perfect for those small to maybe medium projects. But first, basically, you click the giant new product button. This is going to create its own separate database for your project to store all the things. And then it kind of provides you with these keys. And then from there, you kind of grab your keys and you do what you want with them. So what I did with them, and you may have seen it if you came in and did some of this testing for me, is I used it to kind of watch all of these little areas that you could possibly click. So David the goat clicked on some of the food here and the pop star. And if we refresh, so like I said, our goal, again, was to see how many people can actually hit this button. It was hit 7 times. And if the pie chart ever loads, it will tell us how good that is. Because if 7 people came and 7 people all hit our goal, then we did it. That's enough data for me to go to a stakeholder and be like, we did it, this is what we need to do, and then we can go implement it. Or if we've already implemented it, it was a success, we could keep going. It will load. It does love me. Yay! Okay, so, but if there's been like 700 people and only 7 people clicked it, we don't have a lot to stand on. So even if my data over here says one thing and this data says something else, then as a UX person, I might want to run a few more tests to see what's really going on. All right, so to show you guys some code so we can get on the same page again. So you start by, where is it? You start by initializing keen. You give it, these are where the keys of your project go. And then once you figure all that out, again, JavaScript, kind of illiterate, but I use jQuery, and jQuery works for me, and it works perfect for this, because all I'm doing is I'm listening to my buttons and relaying or throwing off some commands as I go. Here's our goal. And if we go forward, so this is a data object. It's kind of storing that data for me, so I can call it whenever I need to, and that's what you guys are probably. Speak up? Zoom in. Oh, I'm sorry. Good call. Thanks. All right, so these are our data objects. You guys have probably seen them all before. So once I have my kind of listeners and I have my data objects that are going to capture those for us, we then, as you saw on the site, I created visualizations, and I'm very visual, so I love that stuff. and it creates these tables. This is the one for the goal count, keeps us track on that. And then this is our pie chart that kind of pulls in our data objects and visualizes it for us. So with those, I wanted to also talk about the relevance of the pie graph in this. So if I am going through this and I'm seeing a trend down here where everybody is clicking the eyewear, I know that because everyone's clicking on here, I can also go to the stakeholders and say, hey, thanks to JavaScript, I know that everybody is clicking on eyewear. If you really, really, really want the person who's going on this hot date to go use our site and make our restaurant sponsors happy, we might consider switching those two around. So it also kind of gives you kind of a hot, it's not like a hot map, so you know where the cursor is gone, but it does kind of come close by giving you that pie graph and offering you options for your stakeholders. So that's kind of how, let me get back to my presentation. So this is going over those configurables and the data objects again and those listeners. And this is the visualization that we talked about. And that's pretty much it. If you combine UX and JS, you really are creating users that are happy, and in this case, goats that are in love with your product. So thanks for having me. That kind of concludes.
Don't forget, guys, I've got goodies that are happening at the end of the talk, but now we have Liz. Huh?
No questions.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys have questions for her?
I'm sorry.
We kind of forgot about that part.
In the case of this tool that you're using to analyze what the user wants or likes, what about to understand what it doesn't, they don't like? Like, for example, what say that most of the people don't like the picture, but they can express that by clicking on it. How would you measure things that they don't like?
Through the JavaScript tools? In general? So his question was, we measure things that people like. How do I measure things that people don't like? It's a very good question. Usually you do something called, it's a little bit more contextual. So there's analytical that's just drawing in a ton of data, and you can point to it and draw statistical evidence from that. But if you really wanted people's opinions on things and really answer the tough questions, you really have to go into the users themselves and see what it is they're thinking. Sometimes it's not that they don't like it, they just maybe don't know what it's for. Maybe they were colorblind and the colors you used, they couldn't see what it was you were talking about. It could be a number of things, right? So sometimes just data alone isn't a strong enough reason. And to your point, to answer tougher questions like why aren't they using it, you really have to gather enough users and collect some data to be tested. Are there any other questions?
How would you rate your general feedback? Is it generally negative or generally positive? Because it seems like when I see people use new products a lot of times, if they don't have the person that made it in front of them, they're probably a lot more honest in how they feel about it.
Yeah, and that's pretty negative. and they don't even know it. They just think they did great, and we don't want them to know any better. I had a feedback from a friend that said he loved a product that I was working on, and when I asked him for more details, he kind of explained a completely different product, but it was good feedback because it means that we aren't really explaining our product very well. Is there anything else?
Are we good now? Oh.
Go ahead.
Sing us a goat song.
A goat song?
Oh, God.
I don't know. You have to visit the site. And
Ask David.
yeah, David knows it. He took it.
He knows about it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep throwing you under the bus, David.
Thanks, guys.
The only thing I'd add is why you should get out of the room. No, I'd just say if you can get behind like the two-way glass and watch it, it is the most painful experience you will ever
Yes.
go through in your life. But it's also one of the most valuable. It's amazing watching
It is.
where people are like, there's just no button for this thing, and you can make it this big with the blink tag, and just it's incredible watching people actually use products.
Yeah, it is.
Highly recommend it. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
So, are you, can you hook up which one? You need this one. Oh, not this one. You guys want to, while we're exchanging stuff out, if there's any more pizza left, go for it. Red Bull, go for it. Get all hyped up. Okay. I got lots of it. All right. So let's see. Oh, we're playing multiplayer. Oh, no. Okay, go into your display settings. I'm getting really good at this. All right. So go into scaled, 1080p. And then go back here, and then play with it's the second 30 hertz. All right.
Yeah, I know. There's more in there too.
I don't create
Well, I
this
typically
stuff.
have two screens that work, so it's probably just used to
You
it.
can delete those now. You don't need to keep them up.
So naturally I have Wi-Fi problems, so we're just going to do it through this, and if you guys don't like it... Oh, I don't know if this is actually going to connect, but we'll see.
So you're connected. Let's try.
But if it doesn't, we could do it through the other thing, and I'll just zoom in, and if you have a problem, you could just let me know.
All right, guys. It's now time for Liz to speak, and I need to compile my notes for my talk.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
All right.
That works.
So naturally the Wi-Fi isn't going to work for me, so I'm just going to... Oops, you shouldn't have seen those bees. I'm going to go through on...
Make it bigger if you can.
Yeah. Is this too much of a problem, or is this okay? Oh, of course this side would be big, but... Okay. Well, you're probably wondering, like, oh, who are you? Well, I'm Elizabeth Williams, and there's my GitHub account, and there's my work email. I work for UCF, for the Center for Distributed Learning, and I work on the online courses there. I had half of a Red Bull thing in the back, so if I talk too fast or just something doesn't make sense, please forgive me, or just make me say it again and slow down. That includes you, Eric. All right. I am here to talk about pixel sorting in JavaScript. You might be like, what is that? Why should I care? Pixel sorting is literally rearranging the pixels inside of an image, and it's an aesthetically pleasing thing. A person named Kim Asendorf coined the term when he released a set of images of mountains that were pixel sorted, and they looked like this, and everyone kind of liked it, and it became like a thing in digital art. In order to begin, you kind of have to know how pixels work in JavaScript. You were probably expecting pixels in JavaScript, like inside an image, to be a two-dimensional array. That is, you would expect it to be like x0, y0, and then that's the first pixel. Instead, it's one big flat array. So that means every 4 elements inside the array is 1 pixel. This makes it faster for JavaScript instead of being multidimensional, but that means you have a little bit of extra stuff to do on your end. The array elements contain a number 0 to 255, and you probably are familiar with that in CSS. These are related to RGBA, so red, green, blue, and alpha. The alpha stands for transparency, so if it's 0 or 1, or it could be 0.3, and that means 30%. Generally, I'm not going to mess with alpha because the images are already not transparent, So if they are transparent or have transparency, you can modify based off of that, but I'm not going to, but you can. So you can see here, this is a representation of one pixel. You have your red, green, blue, and then your alpha, your A, and this is actually 4 pixels. So these 15 elements are 4 pixels. We're going to want to try to start implementing this so we can play with the pixels. First things first, we have to set it up. I'm putting a canvas tag there. I could have put it into the JavaScript, but I didn't. That was just a personal accidental choice. So here in the JavaScript, can you all see? OK. I'm doing a window on load. So once all of the elements of the window have loaded, I'm going to go into this function called image_loaded. I am grabbing the canvas element, and then I'm also getting the context of it. You need to get the context of it so you can get what is inside the canvas element. Otherwise, you're just grabbing the whole canvas element. Is there anyone here who doesn't know what the canvas element actually is? Oh, the canvas element is something like, I wasn't prepared to explain it actually, but it's something where I was like, oh, I should probably mention like what it is, but it's something where you can do a lot of interesting manipulation in the canvas element graphically, and I believe you can also do 3D stuff and all kinds of things. And if that was a poor explanation, come back to me later and I will definitely try to explain canvas to you better, and maybe you'll get it through the talk, right?
So it's something to hold graphic in like a frame, right?
Yeah, it's...
Isn't that like a frame where you put a photograph in?
Sort of. You can do a lot of different things inside it.
Can you think of it as like a block around the, your screen, and the white is it a canvas, and you plug in the image in there?
That's probably close enough for what we're doing.
As an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody. So after we are getting the context, I'm doing some stuff to get the width, and this is so that when I load an image into Canvas, I am just getting the width of the image. Technically, that means I don't need the width and the height up there, but I just kept it up there because it's weird to have an element without setting the width and height if it's Canvas, to me. After that, I'm going to be drawing an image, and the IM stands for image, which is being declared down here, and then it's 0 and 0, so that's x0, y0. That means the image is going to be put in the top left corner as my laptop goes to sleep. As my laptop doesn't want to wake up. Right. Did I step on anything over here?
Oh, there we go.
Wow, okay. We're back. Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, if it still makes sense and if everyone's still following along, I am making the image there, and then image.onload, we're going to load the image, and I'm loading in an image locally called bees.jpg. Is everybody kind of following along so far? Okay, cool. And you probably want to see what bees.jpg is. This is bees. It's not goats. Sorry to disappoint.
They are bees there, right?
Yeah, those are bees. They're not goats. They're not goats in bee costumes. You're welcome. So that's the bees image I just loaded into Canvas. This is a screenshot because there's some security problems. You have to do a server thing if you... I'll explain that later in a second. But it's a screenshot for now because of some security problems you can get using Canvas and trying to grab the pixels. So here I am... What you want to do is you want to get the pixels, manipulate them, and put them back. So in order to do that, I have something to help handle the pixels so we don't have to iterate 4 times all the time. Here I have this pixel class, and it's going to handle RGB and A. That way I can easily access those. And then in this, can you guys see too, all the way? In this over here, this function, I'm creating a list of objects. So this is like a list of pixels. So every pixel is going to become an object. And then that way I can have just this list of objects, and it's easy to dive into each one and change RGB and A. Everybody good? Okay. And we're going to apply this to our image loaded function we had earlier. At the bottom here, we're going to get all the Canvas pixel data. You have to use this get image data method in JavaScript, and then use image data.data to get the actual information from the pixels. And that's where you can see it. Over here, you can see all these little pixels. Oh man, all of these pixels. You can dive down pretty deep. Let me open one, and then you can see what the information looks like. So you can see RGBA in alphabetical order, so it's ABGR. But you have an idea of what the pixels look like, or it look like in code. So now that we have the pixels, we want to make sure we can put them back okay before we start manipulating them. Otherwise, we could spend a lot of time manipulating them and then get frustrated trying to put them back. So I'm making something here which unwraps what we had just wrapped. The object list, it flattens that into just a flat array, so just kind of like keeps appending stuff. And then I'm adding this to the end of image loaded. That function we were just looking at, it's you have to use data.set because there's some weird getting and setting stuff with JavaScript when it comes to that. So there's probably someone in JavaScript who had like really strong opinions about getting and setting data. So you have to use data.set. Okay, now.
So what does it do, data.set? It just set the object into the new object?
Yeah, it replaces the image with your information. Thank you. Now you probably want to start sorting stuff, and that's cool. And you probably think of bubble sort because that's like the initial one you learn. Here I have a little baby bubble sort function. I'm taking in list, and list is the list of objects or the list of pixels that I made. And JavaScript has a handy method that lets you sort pretty easily. I'm using that. Channel, that parameter is the RGBA. So those are like channels, red, green, blue. I am giving it a channel, so you could sort by that specific channel. If one channel is greater than the other, then yes, swap. Otherwise, return -1, and it works with how JavaScript sorts. Allows you to sort things in a list. And you probably want to see what that looks like, right? When you sort things using like an alphabetical order or like a 0 to 0 plus kind of order, it's going to just be like a gradient because you put it in order. That makes sense. So I'm going to actually not include the bubble sort, and I'm going to customize this and do some other stuff too. So I'm going to update image loaded with this function I call channel to just shuffle around RGBA depending on what I want to do. Let's see. Here I am looping through everything in the list of pixels / objects. And I'm grabbing blue. Like every blue thing gets boosted by 50. And then I'm going to do this comparison thing where if the blues are greater than the greens, then the reds are going to become the same number as blue. Otherwise, the blues are going to become the same number as the greens. And this is what it's going to look like. It's probably not that exciting yet. It's actually more desaturated on my monitor. But as you can tell, it's like, oh, well, now it's just slightly more red and it's a little desaturated. So we're going to do some more interesting stuff instead. Like we're going to add on to that part. And I'm not using bubble sort there anymore. But you can apply bubble sort in specific ways. So let's add some more custom cool stuff. We're going to add some range manipulation. So if the green is greater than 100 and the blue is greater than 200, you're getting a specific range. And then I'm saying if my neighbor 5 pixels down exists, so you want to check the range. You want to make sure that you're getting pixels that are actually within the width of the image. Otherwise, if you're trying to get something that doesn't exist, it's like over here and your image is here, it will probably break in a way you don't want. So you're getting pixel over here, and you're getting the red, green, and blue attributes. You're assigning them this specific color. There. That probably explains it better. You're making your neighbor 5 pixels down a specific color, and that's the effect that it has. Okay. What's up?
So you just pretty much just start throwing around numbers.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening. Yeah, it's okay because it does look cool, but at the same time, I don't know if that's what you want to, but it's kind of fun. So let's try to do more stuff. There's a bunch of stuff you could do with colors. Grayscale is actually pretty simple. And the way grayscale works in RGBA stuff is if it's 170, 170, 170, if all the numbers are the same, it's going to be gray. So what happens is you can average the colors together and divide them by 3, and that's how you get the gray per that pixel. So here I calculate the average or the gray, and then I'm going to apply it by saying, oh, if the red is greater than the average, then the red is going to become the average color, or the gray. And it's going to look like that. I'm going to, in the next part, I'm going to remove that part because I didn't like having a lot of gray there, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. So I took out the grayscale part, and it's still going to be stripy right now. You can calculate brightness. I found this article, or publication, like this very relying looking blog that mentioned, you know, sometimes you have stuff where it's like, that looks pretty pro. I'm going to calculate brightness, and it made sense and it works, so I'm just going to go with it. Red is going to be like red times this arbitrary number that somehow how humans perceive color in the computers. Somehow that's how you calculate brightness for RGB. And you need to make sure that it doesn't have like a gigantic decimal, so that's why we're using math.floor. I created this other function called sortSum. I'm taking in the list of pixels / the list of objects, which is our object list, and I'm also giving it an empty dark object and an empty light object, and I'm going to fill them up using this brightness function. And you might notice, hey, why are you assigning this 1? The point is that like it's faster for JavaScript to find a key in an object than it is for JavaScript to search an array. And that is an optimization my friend gave me, and it cut off seconds from the processing, and it actually helped a lot. So it kind of makes sense too, but you are assigning something that like doesn't matter because you're looking for the key, not what you're assigning it. But it works. And you're going to want to implement your brightness. So I'm updating channel shuffle up there. And then you say if I in light. You're going to do, I have a bunch of also like more random processing I'm doing there. So I have if I in light, then we're going to just do some random stuff with RGB, which was like what I was doing earlier, but not the grayscale, just the normal reassigning colors, like from neighbors. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, cool. Or if it doesn't make sense, just come and ask me, and I'll be like, I'll explain it to you a little bit better. Else, if I is in the list of dark colors, then I'm giving them a specific color, yes, and then I'm boosting the blue there. Otherwise, or also shift pixels. So we're going to be shifting 30 away if that neighbor exists. There we go. Now it looks cool. Now you don't have to listen to me talk about that right now. So like you can see, it shifted 30 pixels, and now it's bright blue. And there's also some purple there, and there's some interesting graphical stuff. I think it looks better on my screen than it does in the projector, but that's the result from that sort of shifting and manipulation. Everybody cool? So instead of talking about it further, I also decided to mention ideas that other people can implement too, and the ways to think about that. You can affect the neutrals, so like how we were selecting lightness and darkness, you can select everything else in between, which would just be like neutral colors. You can affect that. You could run a sort on a very specific range, so you could be like, I'm only going to select all the really dark purples, and I'm going to do something to it. You can use data from another image to influence your current image. So if you want that blue shift from another image on top of your image, you could probably just grab that and put it on top of your image. You could probably try to sort GIFs. I was just researching this before I headed out on the road to here. There's some weird stuff for doing GIFs because you can't naturally process them. You have to use you have to like go get them and then save them and then digest them, and then you can edit them in Canvas. But I guess I'll probably try to do that next. The next thing you could try to do is mirror or flip the pixels in specific ranges. So you could just like reverse it and then you flipped it and stuff like that. Here's some references. The first one's just Mozilla Docs. The second one was kind of like the framework I used to make sure I could put the image into Canvas, because that's the part where you might have the most trouble, is just making sure the Canvas part works. And then that's the article or the tech blog where I found calculating perceived brightness. Were there any other questions, or if anyone wanted to see anything specific? Did I lose people? If you're lost, it's okay. I'll put them, I will put them online. I know I put the pages for the different sorting things I showed up on GitHub, but I could put the slides somewhere. I guess I could put them somewhere, yeah. Oh yeah, and that's me. This is me again. I went and sorted the Alice in Wonderland picture because I thought it was cool. Yeah, that was the same sorting stuff that you saw here. Are there any questions? Or if you're like totally lost, it's all right. Just say, hey, I have no idea what you're talking about. What's up?
Could you explain some of the techniques that were used in the first image you showed?
The desaturated one?
No, the very first example you gave where that artist was manipulating the very
Oh, the linear one? That's a specific algorithm that he used. It's up. His stuff is up on GitHub. He's called Kim Assendorf. I'll just go show you. Oh yeah, the Wi-Fi doesn't work for me. I'm sorry, but I would show you if I could. You probably have a device that actually works with the internet. So, but I can write down the name, and then there's an algorithm he wrote, and then someone already ported it to JavaScript. So it's just the way that he is sorting stuff.
Any other questions, guys, for her at all? No? No?
You could critique me too, that's cool. If I did something weird, or like if there's something that's like way faster, or you're like, why did you do it that way? You should let me know. Oh.
Very good.
Oh, and I was just like, everyone was just staring at me like, I was like, was it boring? Oh, it was the bee's knees? Was it sweet like honey? Okay, well, we're done.
You can do better than that.
Hey.
All right. I guess this means it's my turn now.
Hey. Uh-oh, my hair. Oh, no. Okay.
Oh.
I know.
There we
Okay.
go. We got this. All right. Well, shit. So does anybody have to go pee at all, or like go to the bathroom?
Are you stalling?
Seriously, go pee. Give me a few minutes. Give me a few minutes to get my shit together. Yep, it's in the black cooler back there, hon. Hi. Yeah, so this is what I have so far? Yeah, that happened. So, me being silly and cute. Yeah, I threw you in there. And then there's the beginning part of it, because nobody actually knows what the hell I actually did. And then, so I just did this, and then obviously the notes that you and I kind of went into, and I'll ask if people kind of want me to go into it, or if they want to ask why I did what, then I'll go into it. Okay. And then that's it. And then I'll get out of this. I can pull up the Sublime so they can relook into it more further if they wanted to, and then it's right there.
Awesome. Do you have your start and end?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's 453 and 498.
All
So.
right.
Ah! No. Cat. I have an interesting sense of humor. Sorry, guys. All right. So are you ready for this? Because I'm not. All right. So we decided to come up. So obviously, if you guys have kind of heard a little bit and me bitching over the last month or so, my VP of engineering decided that it would be a smart idea to convince me, or should I say throw me under the bus, to actually do a JavaScript talk.
It's a genius idea.
Shh, don't even go there.
Everybody's loving it already.
Thanks. So, yeah, so this happened, you know. So we decided to come up with a topic. Has absolutely anything to do at all. Yes?
Is this talk going to take 3 weeks?
Nope. Hell no. It's going to take 2 seconds, darling. I will talk real quick. So, unless you guys ask questions, then I'm fucked. So, yeah, no joke. What can I say? I can separate myself a little bit. But who am I really? Yes, I'm probably the busiest person you'll ever meet. I am in school for architecture. I just did a JavaScript app thingy, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I run events, and I'm with Orlando Tech Community. So yeah, I'm a pretty busy freaking person. I'm sorry, guys, but my dog's cooler than you. Obviously, as you guys know, I don't do the Twitter. That's my little slang. I'm sorry some of you guys don't understand it, but it started out with me getting nervous talking in front of everybody. Instead of saying, hey guys, make sure you use Twitter, I said do the Twitter. So it kind of just turned into this thing for a while. And the only way you can actually physically reach me is my email. So what I didn't realize going into this is hours and hours and hours and days went by as I actually tried actually coding. So I don't know how in the hell you guys do this. Kudos to you. I cannot do your job. That is never happening. You don't ever have to worry about after this project. I will not become a JavaScript programmer. Computers are idiots. You really have to tell them what they're going to do, and you have to talk to them like a child. I found out you have to break down every single problem in very little, tiny, tiny steps. So yeah, and Nick, my lovely teacher, I felt really bad for him. He always felt that, you know, he was either doing a shitty job trying to teach me or I just wasn't really grasping it very well. So what the hell did I actually build? I built a randomizer. So it's going to make things a lot easier for me. I didn't have to bother with shuffling through those tickets I gave you. I don't have to deal with any of that at all because I decided, why in the hell am I going to spend all this time to do a JavaScript talk aside from bringing you guys here and then doing an entire women's JavaScript speaking meetup, which has never happened in the tech community in Orlando, by the way. So very happy about that. Also, too, you guys can't beg me to pick your ticket anymore. You can't literally tell me as I'm sifting through the bowl, hey, this is what my ticket is. Can you grab that? I want your t-shirt. No. Can't do that. So there it is. That is the JavaScript part to it. Yes. Nick can vouch for me. I actually did this. It will be tomorrow. Thursday. I'm not doing shit tomorrow. Thursday. It'll be Thursday. I have Orlando Tech Meetup to deal with tomorrow. It'll be Thursday. So it'll be on GitHub. You guys can play with it. Do whatever you want.
My joke, bro.
Don't go there. Don't go there. So, I mean, if you guys actually do give two shits of what I did, I actually did, you know, had to define different things. I had to figure out what an end and a start was. So it's a range of my numbers. There was some math in it. I haven't done math since 2008, guys. It's kind of entertaining. I had to remind myself of things. So, how do you do architecture without math? Because I took trig in 2008 for my architecture degree and haven't touched it since.
Please not design anything.
I have actually designed a restaurant that was just never built because it was son with daddy's money. So yes, I've actually designed some things, by the way. It got dark real quick. So, do you guys actually give two shits about what's in here?
Yes. Yes. You have to explain it, all of it. What is each line?
Ah! Who asked that? Who asked that?
This guy got 0.
Really? Really? I hate you. Okay, so let me get my little notes out here. Come on now. You guys gotta give me a break here. All right, so var is a variable. It's pretty much just all the data that goes in that one little box. So there you go. Was that better? And then the function is actually what the hell I want it to do, and then all the code going inside of it. So, all right, as each line, so obviously these two right up here is how I figured out what my, and I'm sorry I'm not showing you the CSS or HTML side of this. Yes, I did some of those too. So, in here, this defines what these boxes are right here. So this is the first and this is the second box. So that's where I put in my numbers. The range is in order for me to get that random, just the range of my numbers. What the hell is this number? What the hell is that number? And we're going to find what's in between that. My value is using the function retry, which is all the math in order to find that random number. The if statement on line 8 is pretty much so it doesn't end up in an infinite loop and I don't break it, which we have. And the while part of it is, so we don't get the same number twice. So it's going to throw whatever number that value finds into this chosen numbers, which down here is actually an array. So it's going to store them in the array. See? I learned shit, guys. So down in here, it also pushes the response, and then you get to see it. Down in here is all that lovely math stuff. So math.random is in order to get me that number from between the range, and it's going to give me a decimal number. The math.floor I learned, hey, it gets rid of that decimal. It just gives me a whole pretty number. So you guys don't have to see 5 million decimals. So, I mean, I can show you the rest of the code, but that's it. That's literally it. So.
So we actually get to see it in operation now. That's what the
You
giveaways
do.
are, right?
Yes, that is what the giveaways are for. But if you guys have any questions really quickly, we can totally do it. Otherwise, we'll get to the giveaway part.
Did you test it?
Yes, I did.
Really test it?
We did. We tested everything. We even broke it a few times.
It's tested, it's not unit tested.
No.
But like -1 and -2?
Yeah, it'll break. It'll break. This is meant for positive. This is meant for positive numbers only. But I can say it won't break. If I do 1 to 10 and I click it 10 times, it won't break. It just will stop giving me a number.
So you accept pull request, right? That was a yes. Nice.
And it's on YouTube. Yes.
You think about rounding at 0.5 to go up instead of always flooring it?
No.
No, why not?
Because your ticket's not gonna win, man.
That thing goes into way too much more math than I want to bother with.
Rounding?
Yes. Yes. No. Okay. What else? What else is? Yeah.
Had you done any kind of programming before this, and would you do any programming again after this?
I have never done any programming at all. My only experience that I actually had was watching you guys up here talk. My sister does HTML a lot, but she's otherwise a big gamer, and she's got her Twitch videos and stuff like that. She also builds her own computers. She's the super techie person who should be up here doing this. No, good luck trying to get her butt over here from Tampa. So she's the other side of things that I'm the designer and engineer side of things, where she's more of a computer nerd. So no, I've had no experience whatsoever. I literally, once the bomb got dropped on me and these two over here decided to do the Kanye meme on the Orlando Dev Slack, that poor Sergio got involved in. It blew up. So then I realized, okay, shit, I can't actually bail on this and say, hey, just kidding, happy way too early April Fools. So I was playing, I think it's Code Commander. Was the video game I was playing for a little while, so I got to type in code to like make the guy move. So I played around with that for a while, and so that kind of made things a little bit easier on Nick, because I at least could kind of understand things a little bit. But other than that, it was just that, and then going through a little bit of the first tutorial from Code School. So would I do programming again? Honestly, I mean, I could do this just to say anybody who is a complete beginner needs to get up here and talk, because I don't do this, and I just did this in 3 weeks. With my crazy schedule, you should have no excuse if you're a beginner to not come up here and talk about beginner shit, because I just did it. You know, so I could do it in the different languages for sure, but don't expect this to be something that I do every month. I'll put it that way.
What method did you like the most, based on the fact that you didn't have experience?
I've only used JavaScript right now.
No, I'm talking about the method for learning. I mean, you
Oh.
got classes, went to coding,
So,
websites.
I mean, the video game was fun, but I still had no really idea of what the hell I was actually doing, because I wasn't developing full pieces of code. I was only playing with lines of code. So I didn't really know a whole lot into that. For me, what was a lot easier was the way Nick handled it. I am very much a hands-on person. Don't touch my computer. Let me try to do it. So he did a really good job telling me, okay, you know what? Let's Google this. Like, I'm not even going to tell you what this is. Google it, look at it. Does it look like it's right? What is this? So we kind of went into that. We did a couple whiteboard sessions. For me, that was a lot easier on me. Code School, I didn't dive in enough. or Code Academy or Treehouse, I didn't dive in enough to actually know what I was doing or how that could help me or anything different along that. I mean, or you could be completely crazy and go to Iron Yard and be a full-blown junior developer in 3 months.
Nice plug.
May 4th again? Oh.
But it's not free, right? It has a cost.
Iron Yard?
It's very expensive, right?
He's one of the Ruby speakers right over there. Yes, it's expensive. But they help with scholarships and tuitions, and we're partnering up with them and doing a couple of different things as well. So, yes, they're expensive, but I know all the teachers. You'll know your shit, especially JavaScript. Granted, right now he just has a newborn baby, but yeah, he'll kick your ass. I mean, these guys kick your ass. So, but you learn stuff. Anybody else? Yes.
What was your favorite part of this, and what was your least favorite part? Can't say finishing.
I've not even finished. I'll continue playing with it. Yeah.
You were about to run it, right?
Huh?
You were about to
Yeah.
run it.
Yeah. I'll be able to show it to you guys. So this is the actual. Let me get this. How do I zoom in, guys? Thank you. All right. So that's all the JS stuff in there. What was my favorite part about this? It was actually kind of neat learning it. I mean, I sit next to you guys all the time. I mean, I'm in the office. It was actually really kind of cool just to see how the back end of it is. I glazed over CSS. I mean, this is basic CSS, just to get the colors, the box. It's all that stuff even me. This is all just the different colors, the font size, the type of font, your border, where the hell the box is actually going to go on the whole web page, all that stuff. So, like I said, this is basic as basic gets. And then same thing with my HTML. The part that I did not like the most about this was the fact that I did not comment at all. So I'm a bad person. I did not comment. My README is completely empty. So yeah, I'm horrible. Yes. I am not the best organized person in the world. And then I'm like this. See this is my notes. Can you guys understand a damn thing that is on here? No, but I understand it. So typing in through this is really hard for me.
Yeah, but the naming convention is self-explanatory. So
I mean,
good in naming convention.
The naming was definitely awesome to learn and figure it out. Like, I can definitely look at this and understand it better, which is really cool on my part. But the least favorite part is the part I didn't do, which is the commenting and all the nitty-gritty, like, nitpicking crap. Yes, Austin.
What are your opinions on using semicolons versus not?
Shit, did I not use all of them?
Oh, you got a couple in there. That's it. There's one down here too.
Oops, I guess. Like I said, poor Nick had to deal with me. So if I did that right, awesome. Was that your question? You were just being a dick and made a mess? Okay. Okay, what's up?
How many friends did you actually lose, and how many people did you alienate?
So I have a girlfriend of mine who lives here in Orlando and is only like 10 minutes away from me. I haven't talked to her in 2 months. Let's see. There's some other shit that's gone down that I'm not going to talk about, and what?
No, this is how we all live.
Yes. And this is why I just said I could never do it. Everything went like this, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh fuck, it's Tuesday, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have nothing ready for my event. I was scrambling for my iOS, buddy. Yes.
Do you realize why we drink?
Huh?
Do you realize why we drink?
I drink anyways.
This only makes it worse.
I drink anyways. This did not make me drink any more than I already do. I already put enough damage on myself as it is. So, okay.
Any inspiration behind the goat? Why you selected a goat? Because it's the year of the goat? Or?
No, it had nothing to do with that. If it's the year of the goat, awesome. We pinned it right. It's an inside joke with our meetup. Okay. So our JavaScript meetup started because of David and one of our buddies, Daniel, who is a part of Fat Merchant. they decided to put goats in their presentation. There was actually something legitimate with the goat originally, so it just kind of kicked off and ran off. We did a lot of stuff with hashtags and everything, and it just flew out. Like, everybody just went crazy. So it just stuck, and everybody was like, oh, I'm going to be funny, and I'm going to post a goat. And hey, I'm going to do a thing on Twitter with a goat, and then it just fucking ran with it. So that's why the goat is. There is no real logical explanation for the goat, except for we're just obnoxious as shit with it. Okay. So that's it. This is it. That's it. Yes.
Fucking drop shadow though. Yeah.
That's Nick for you.
Can we run UX analysis on it?
I will put it on GitHub and you guys can play with it. That's my button. That's my button. All right. So the first number that I gave out was that one. So you guys might want to get your tickets out, by the way. Kind of forgot to tell you that.
I didn't get one. Sergio didn't get a ticket.
You're killing me. Okay. Yep, you're going to be the last one. You got one? All right, let's make this quick, guys. I want beer. Who else did not get a ticket that was... Stop coming in late, guys. You're killing me. You're welcome, brother. All right, there you go. And let me grab a few more. I'm giving you one.
Thank you.
I have some people who've like won like 4 or 5 bags at this point, and it's pretty hysterical. Yeah, you're one of them. Oh yeah, this is the T-shirt that's giving away. I just cut the collar off. No, I just cut the collar off. My other one is the legitimate shirt. All right, so now what the fuck's my last number? 507. All right, 507 is the last number. Sorry, Sergio. You still fucking got it. All right.
I hope there's a horrible bug.
Ha ha! 483. Who are you?
Oh, 44.
That's you? All right. What do you want? So I have swag bags. I have my book, and then I have T-shirt. All right. He took the book, guys. So, ready? Ready?
467.
David.
Yeah.
What do you want? You do. So do you want to forfeit?
Do you have shirts?
That's what I just said. I'm giving away one of my shirts. You've never won the shirt?
Let's do the shirt.
All right. What's your size? Medium. Okay. I'll grab it in a second. Okay. Who's 495? You want a bag? I think you already have a bag, Zach, but that's okay. I know. He sports the sunglasses in his office, and he works for Got Chosen. All right. 458. That's nobody. 458. I'm gonna hit it again. 474. All right. Woohoo.
Thanks.
All right, 2 more, and then guys, we're getting over there. 465. Paying attention to their damn tickets. You just give 2 shits. 465. All right, I'm hitting again. You lose. 502.
You're getting up there. I think we need a new seat.
Hey, now this isn't me picking it, so you can't say that I jerry-rigged shit. You saw the code, but you saw the code. Where did I put a number in there?
But it didn't have semicolons.
Who's 454? Oh, yeah. All right, guys. If there's any pizza left, World of Beer does not care. You can take pizza. Let's all start navigating towards this door. And we are done. Thank you, darling.
Awesome presentation. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good.